Hello, everybody. Happy episode 6. I hope everyone is doing well. Anyways, I'd like to bring you some more information about our new content that was just released. We got so much of it. I hope this doesn't fly under the radar because it's super important. So anyways, I'd like to talk to you about Genon Weapons. Genon Weapons are a form of weapon that allow you to take damage whenever you use a photon art or technique. So basically, it increases your potency and gives you a PP cost reduction by 45%. It kind of reminds me of the Psycho Weapons, the Psycho Rod wand from PSO1. You just took damage and you got PP reduction costs, but that's not the shining star of them. The reason why it's so important is because if you include it with Lucent Adversity S2 and S3, you will heal 30% of your max PP whenever you take damage. Now, that's a lot of PP. It has no cooldown. It has no condition other than just when you take damage, and that's it. So you need to take damage. And other than getting yourself hit, you could just get yourself a Genon weapon, and you can get all your PP back. Now, important to note is that you cannot get your PP back. I mean, Genon weapons are not supported on summoners or étoiles. I believe the reason for that is because étoiles, they do not heal. They have a skill on their tree that prevents them from healing unless it's with a mate or their another ability that fully heals them every once in a while. Otherwise, all their healing's reduced to 1. So if they used a Genon weapon overzealously, they would end up having no HP left, and they'll be just kind of like dead men walking for the rest of the game. And for summoners, that one I'm not really too entirely sure of, because yes, pets are considered different, and they are not considered PAs, so to speak, but summoners can also use techniques. So I'm wondering if it could be just a balancing issue, or that the fact that attacks are only limited to them. No, I don't know. It could be just simply that it'll be too powerful to have them to have that much PP for their pets, and they kind of already have so many other things going on with their parfaits and their other systems. I'm not sure. If someone knew the answer, that would be great. Otherwise, we move on. So, the important thing about them is that also you can just easily spam them. So if you have access to photon arts or techniques, if you can use techniques, I would recommend having a palette on any Genon weapon that supports it. Having Nabarda type 0, Aresta, and Ilzande, or another form of movement if you want. You can have Savoy type 0. I prefer Ilzande because it doesn't lock onto an enemy and you can go through enemies. So with this ability and these two SGA augments, you can end up having essentially infinite PP generated from them. So you can just spam Ilzande, go through a whole map until you reach to 1 HP. When you reach 1 HP, you would need to have your you need to heal yourself up because you cannot take damage at 1 HP for the Genon weapons, and that would just end up having you just go through your PP and kind of defeat the whole purpose. So you just heal yourself, or if you don't need any mobility, just cast Nabarda a couple times and you should be topped up and very quickly, so you'll have no more PP troubles after this. Well, in order to get these wonderful weapons, you can go to the badge shop. It's an exchange badge. You can exchange unique badges, and here are all the Genon weapons you can get. Pretty easy. You do not need to buy 6 of them to get the plus 35. Genon weapons are not meant to be a weapon for battling. It's meant for PP batteries. It's essentially a way better light splitter. I mean, trailblazer. But if you are a summoner or an étoile, you only have options for the PP batteries for of that caliber would be those trailblazers. So now that we know where to get them, there's another thing, is that where can you get those darn SGAs, right? Well, you can get those SGAs from the following 2 methods. One, you can go and farm them, and in order to farm them, you can go to the Exchanging Rising Weapon Badge shop. It's on the 4th one. If you cannot find any urgent quests, it'll be in the following 2 urgent quests. You can find Castrum Demonicum Madness Trigger, the 8-man party, and you can find the Lucent Adversity S2. And in Dying the Depths trigger, you can find Lucent Adversity 3. But, I mean, there is another workaround. You can find Lucent Adversity S2 on a weapon that I have not found yet. So if you can find that, it's like Shishito or something. And that weapon is great because you can just create as many S2 augments as you want. I mean, you don't need that many. You only need a couple Genon weapons, but if you can't find it from the Castrum Demonicum or you hate it, you can find that weapon. And for the Dying the Depths, that one's a little trickier, and that one's also, sadly, more expensive. The second way is if you have a lot of Meseta, you can find them. You can do product search, perform multiple searches, and then just look for Adversity. That's S2. You can find them, you can buy the weapon. And then S3 is right here. It's way more expensive, as you can see, because it's only really dropped by Apprentice, and Apprentice is not really commonly an urgent quest, unless it's a random one, an unscheduled urgent quest. So in that case, you would need to farm it out. That one I would recommend farming. The other one's not as expensive. But once you get them, you would have to apply them to your Genon weapon, and in order to do that, go to your favorite, either Monaco or Dudu, and go to Transfer SGA Augment, select your Genon weapon as the target, go to the next. I'm not going to go through the whole process, or I'm going to be deleting my own augments. Then you select the 2 and 3, and then the other augments on it, and then you go back to your old weapon, and then do that. And it's going to tell you that you're going to be destroying augments or not. This time it won't, because I'm just transferring SGAs from one weapon to another. It won't do anything. It'll still cost me Meseta. It'll cost me more because I have a 7-slot Atlas weapon, so that's why it's going all nuts with the Meseta cost. It's cheaper if it's just like with a Val with just the S2. And then you transfer them, and then it'll be on your weapon. So, let's put it to good use with all the knowledge we learned.
What's going on? Which quest would you like?
We're gonna go to Practice Quest, Damage Calculation. It doesn't really matter where I go, it's just kind of a more nicer environment for me. Alright, let's go through the PP. Unfortunately, I have so much PP cost reduction that it takes a while to go through it. Not the end of the world, but hard for demonstrations. Alright, Genon Weapon. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, remember that when you have Nabardo Type 0, you do not need to hold it down like this. You'll just drain through your PP. You won't even take damage for it. But if you tap it, you will gain back your PP, and you'll take the damage. Well, I mean, you'll gain the PP back from the initial casting, but holding it down doesn't it's not affected by the Genon's potential. And now let us show the movement. Look at that. It's like you have an on-demand mobility. You'll make Luther Dark Blast mains jealous. Maybe Jet Boots jealous. I don't know. I feel like they don't really have PP issues, but people with jet boots can also have a jet boot talus. I mean, a jet boot Genon weapon. Oh, that is a tongue twister. But yeah. Just heal yourself back up. Alright? Well, that is all I have to say on the matter for this. I hope you guys are doing well, and I hope you are enjoying episode 6. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or comments. Always love hearing feedback. Yeah. Alright, have a great day. Good luck with episode 6.